Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Giselle. I review fragrances. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe and to hit the bell button so you won't miss my upcoming videos. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your kind and loyal support. So today is about the top 10 best fragrances for women. Of course, this is a subjective opinion, 1000% subjective, but I think that I have covered different olfactory groups and different types of fragrances that might appeal to most women out there, and I think you should definitely try them. So if you're interested in learning more, stay tuned. So the first fragrance on my list is LUA by Xerjoff. So this fragrance has been a staple in my collection forever, like since they launched. Literally, I remember I was invited to an event when they launched this fragrance. I was living in Germany, and it was love at first sniff. Like seriously, it's a gorgeous fruity floral perfume that blew me away. It's so good. I remember I went through the bottle in a couple months, 3 months, something like that, and when I came back to this to the perfume shop to buy a second bottle, the sales associate told me that they were sold out because they only had 64 bottles in stock. And she told me that the prince from the Middle East came and bought everything she had in stock for a party he was throwing. He needed souvenirs, and he bought the 64 remaining bottles of LUA. So I had to wait a few weeks until they restocked, and yeah, and ever since it's been a staple in my collection. I think they reformulated this fragrance. It smells the same, but it's not quite the same as it used to be. It's truly gorgeous. It has a very prominent melon note, to be more exact, a cantaloupe note, which is not common in perfumery. Usually when you see fruity notes, you don't see melon that often. You see watermelon, but you don't see cantaloupe, right? It's very fragrant, very sweet, it's feminine, it's perfect. It's a perfect fragrance for all year round, but spring and summer are, top seasons to wear this fragrance. It also has a prominent lily of the valley note. It also gives this fragrance a very feminine, a very girly accent. It's a fruity floral. To me, it smells more fruity than floral, especially under hot weather and high humidity. Really beautiful, highly underrated. I think this is the most underrated fragrance from Xerjoff, but it's a must try. All my viewers who bought it are in love with LUA. So the second fragrance on my list is Avant Et Apres by Isabelle. So this is a tropical, super feminine, creamy floral fragrance. It does have a coconut scent, but it's because it has manoi oil. Manoi oil is basically tiar or Tahitian gardenia petals that are soaked in coconut oil, and they leave it macerating for days. And after that, we get the manoi oil, which is typically used in tropical fragrances. So you get that coconut, soft, creamy coconut scent without being a fruity fragrance. So it's a tropical fragrance, but it's not beachy. It doesn't smell like suntan lotions, oils, or anything like that. Now, mind you, I bought this fragrance in Germany last year. I paid over 200 euros, which was about 210, 215 US dollars. But I found out that in case you want to buy it, Macy's sells it here and it costs less. I think it retails for 175 plus tax, but it's definitely cheaper than what I paid. And yeah, I was so surprised. Otherwise I wouldn't have, carry the bottle and everything. But yeah, it's a beautiful fragrance, super duper feminine, perfect for spring and summer. It's delicious. So if you like Ylang in Gold, if you like Bora Bora, this reminds me a lot of Bora Bora. It reminds me also of Terracotta, Le Parfum. So if you like those type of tropical fragrances that smell like a goddess type of scents, this is a must try. Avant Et Apres by Isabelle. So coming up, the third fragrance I have on my list is Le Papier by Diptyque. This fragrance confirms my love for this house because everything Diptyque makes is elegance in a bottle, from the diffusers to the room sprays, and of course all of their fragrances. I have quite a few from the house and I love them, especially the Eau de Toilette. This is not a head turner type of scent. It's absolutely delicious. It's clean, it's sheer, it's feminine, it's musky, although it can be unisex, but I think it's more of a feminine type of scent. It's a fragrance that when you wear it, it will make you feel chic and put together. It's you know, dumb rich when you don't know what to wear. It's just that you're not gonna turn heads with this fragrance, and it's okay. There's a moment and a place for everything, and especially people who live in warmer and humid locations, they don't really appreciate those fragrances that have a nuclear base, powerful projection in sillage and, you know, lasting power, something that lasts for 24 hours, something like that. Under that type of weather, you don't really appreciate that. Even myself, when I travel to tropical places, I stick to this type of scents, right? This is like your skin but better type of fragrance. I couldn't make a recommendation or a list without including this type of scents, because as I said, not everyone appreciates bespoke fragrances. And I do appreciate bespoke fragrances, but I love skin scents. And yeah, I have a lot. I think more than half of my collection are skin scents. So I had to include your skin but better type of fragrances in this list. This is a very beautiful nutty fragrance. I don't know if it has sesame as a note, but it definitely has a nuttiness that reminds me. It reminds me of sesame, but it also reminds me of basmati rice. So yeah, I'm sure it has sandalwood. This is a fragrance that it's a damn rich for me. I love it. It's musky, it's clean, it's nutty, and it's different from the typical clean fragrances that tend to be more soapy. So yeah, I think you should definitely try Le Papier. The next one on my list is Oud Jaune Intense by Fragrance du Bois. This fragrance house is one of my favorite fragrance houses in the world. I love their fragrances. You can really tell the quality of the ingredients by sniffing any of their fragrances. But honestly, I think Oud Jaune Intense, and they have three that for me are different, and you can find anything like them on the market, which are Oud Jaune Intense, Oud Orange Intense, and Brume du Matin. So on to Oud Jaune Intense today. This is tropical heaven in a bottle. It's absolutely delicious. It has pineapple. You can smell the tropics the moment you lift the lid. It's so good. It's very addictive, very intoxicating. It has tiare, or another name for tiare is Tahitian gardenia. Also has ylang. It's really narcotic. It has orange blossom as well. It has jasmine. In fact, when people reach out to me for recommendations and they ask me for an alternative to Oud Jaune Intense, I always say Amarish. That's the only fragrance I've smelled through the years that I can recommend as an alternative. Not that they smell really similar, but they have very similar vibes. They have similar type of intensity. I think Oud Jaune Intense is more of a skin scent, while Amarish, if you know the original Amarish, the original formulation, it was a beast, right? But I think Amarish is quite close, and it costs a fraction of the price in case you can't afford or you don't want to spend the money on this one. In fact, they have several notes in common, like jasmine, tuberose, gardenia, orange blossom, ylang. So it definitely is a good alternative. It's not gonna smell the same, but it's quite close if you compare it to other fragrances on the market that have been recommended as alternatives. I tried all alternatives that have been recommended or suggested, and nothing comes even close, not even similar vibes. This one, Amarish, the original Amarish, the vintage one, not the new formulation, but the original one, has similar vibes. There's another one by, I think it's by Parlez-moi de Parfum. Well, let me find out the name for you if you are interested. And I think it's Gardens, something with gardens of something, I don't remember. But I tried that one, and that's a second runner-up, I would say, after Amarish. But other than those two, I couldn't find anything, not even close. This is a skin scent. It's very long-lasting. It's a skin scent. It doesn't really project. It does have a very sheer, beautiful sillage. in the first half an hour, 40 minutes. After that, the fragrance really becomes a skin scent, but it's really, really long lasting. Absolutely beautiful. It's intoxicating as hell. Oud Jaune Intense, it's a tropical vacation in a bottle, and you won't be able to stop sniffing your wrist. Must try Oud Jaune Intense by Fragrance du Bois. So the next one on my list is Reflection by 𝘼𝙁. This is actually a highly underrated fragrance from the house. Like, I love 𝘼𝙁, and one of the things that I truly appreciate about their fragrances is that they all have that uniqueness component, which I really, really love, especially when we are paying these high price tags. We expect some uniqueness, right? At least it's my expectation. In all 𝘼𝙁 fragrances, you find that uniqueness. It's a very youthful fragrance, very uplifting, very invigorating. It has something green here. It's not herbaceous, but it has some greenness that provides freshness to the fragrance. It also has magnolia and freesia, which I think those two are the most prominent notes. Magnolia as a flower is super subtle, super sophisticated, very, very feminine. It's there, but it's not in your face. And this is how Reflection is. It's a fragrance that projects really nicely, but it's very ethereal. It's not like a punch in your face. It has great lasting power, and although it's a perfect fragrance for hot weather, it's not a tropical perfume, even though it has 𝘿𝙗𝙧𝙧 here, but it's not a tropical perfume. It's very bright. It's a perfect fragrance for summer, very uplifting, very invigorating, as I was saying at the beginning. The male version is also beautiful. I think the male version is more unisex, while this one, to me, it's a very, very feminine fragrance. I think this is one of my favorite fragrances from 𝘼𝙁. Reflection. So next one on my list is 724 by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. So this fragrance also belongs to the your skin but better type of scents. Yes, this is one of those. I absolutely love it. I've always said that 724 or 724, whatever, I've always said that this fragrance reminds me of Dove soap. And when people ask me if I have a recommendation for a fragrance that smells like Dove, that they've been looking for years or something like that, and they couldn't find something, I always recommend this one, and also Bubble Bath by Maison Margiela. But I think this one is the closest fragrance you can find on the market that smells like Dove. It's really beautiful. It's very creamy, very clean. And the sandalwood note here is Mysore sandalwood, which is the type of sandalwood that has the highest quality. It's really creamy, it's really fragrant. It's the golden standard when it comes to sandalwood. It also has bergamot, which gives a lot of freshness, especially in the opening. It's a musky scent as well, but the musk here is the white musk type of musk, which is not the animalic. White musk is actually a synthetic note created in the lab to recreate the scent of or the texture of something fluffy, cottony, cocooning, and this is exactly how this fragrance feels. It's a very, very clean and cozy type of scent. This time of year, it's the perfect time to wear 724. Beautiful fragrance, give it a try. Next one on the list is Blanche by Byredo. Now, Blanche means white in French. And let me tell you, they couldn't have chosen a better name, because if this fragrance had a color, it would be white. There's a reason why they called it Blanche, right? They knew what they were doing. So Blanche is a super clean fragrance. I think you won't find anything cleaner than Blanche on the market. I wouldn't say this belongs to the your skin but better type of scent category. I think this is more like clean girl aesthetic, if it makes sense. It's different. This has the presence of an eau de parfum, like a strong eau de parfum. It's very long lasting. It's slightly astringent, typical from Byredo. That's a typical DNA you tend to find in not all of them, but in several Byredo fragrances. This one is slightly astringent, but that lasts for about 7 to 10 minutes after the opening. And it gives this fragrance that fresh laundry quality. But after that, the fragrance is not astringent. It doesn't have any sharp edges. It's absolutely beautiful, super elegant, very sophisticated. You can wear this during the night. Don't underestimate Blanche. Some people think it's just a daytime type of scent. Yes, you can definitely wear it during the day. You can even wear this fragrance to the beach. You can wear this fragrance to the office. It's very inoffensive, but you can wear this fragrance also during the night. You overspray a little bit more and boom, you have a beautiful clean fragrance for a night out, and you will turn heads. It has a beautiful sillage and it projects really well, and lasting power is great considering its category. So it's a must try. Blanche by Byredo. The next one is Lubimar by Louboutin. You know, sometimes you have to give people, but also fragrances, a second chance. And this is one of the cases, I love it. This is one of the cases where you have to be careful. And you know that saying, don't judge a book by its cover? It also applies to fragrances, because many people tend to say no to a fragrance just because it has a note, a single note that they don't like. This fragrance has tuberose. Many of you know, if you've been following me for a while, you know I don't like tuberose. However, notes isolated don't mean anything, and this is one of those cases. Everything boils down to the whole composition. And this is a perfect example. It's a gorgeous aquatic marine floral fragrance. It has a very subtle salty note. It does have a salty note, but it is a stunning fragrance. It lasts forever. I think among all the Louboutin fragrances, this is the longest lasting, even though they call it eau de parfum légère, which means something like light eau de parfum. But there's nothing light here, nothing light, trust me. The only light thing here is the bottle. Other than that, there's nothing light here. It's a fragrance that projects like crazy. This one turns heads. This is a daytime or nighttime type of scent. Personally, I love wearing this during the night, and seriously, I get so many compliments when I wear this that it's mind-blowing, and the people love it. It's a very pleasing. When I receive compliments, it's not just a vanity thing. Of course, we all love to receive compliments, but it's aside from the vanity thing. It's, for me, it's like a test, like a living proof of how a fragrance affects other people, right? And how likable that fragrance is, because if I want to make reviews for you and recommendations, I want to give you raw data, right? And true insight. So when someone compliments me from the distance, it gives me an idea of the projection of the fragrance. If someone compliments me like 5 hours later after I spray the perfume, it gives me an idea of the lasting power and things like that, right? So for me, aside from the vanity factor that we all enjoy, it's like a living experiment and raw data that I use for my reviews. So I think you definitely need to try Lubimar. It's a very feminine fragrance and super long lasting by Louboutin. Next one on my list is Mango Skin. Now, this is the most photorealistic mango fragrance you can find in the market, but it's not creamy, it's not lactonic, it's not beachy, nothing like that. It really is super duper realistic. It's very bright, very sparkling, especially in the opening. It's like a very fleshy, juicy mango. It doesn't get any better than this. This was a love at first sniff. I also bought this fragrance as a gift to a friend of mine who loves fruity fragrances. It was really a blind buy because I wasn't sure if she would like it or not, but she loved it. I'm not encouraging you to go and blind buy fragrances without really being sure about the type of fragrances the person likes, but I wanted to share that with you because it really says something about the fragrance, right? It's absolutely beautiful, very sparkling, very uplifting. It's also a very happy fragrance. It has ylang ylang, it has orange blossom, it has jasmine, and it also has lotus. The lotus note, I love it because it provides a fragrance, or any fragrance where you find lotus, a watery, dewy component that I think contributes to this watery type of scent. It's perfect for the day. I would say Mango Skin is a daytime type of scent, but you can wear it whenever you want. During the day, it really blooms. During the day, that dewy, watery component that I love and makes this fragrance so fresh and also so juicy and photorealistic becomes stronger. That dewy component is not as strong as it is during the day. So I highly encourage you to try this fragrance if you like fruity fragrances, but you don't like creamy lactonic scents. This is a must try. So the next one on my list is White Suede by Tom Ford. It belongs to the private blend. I love Tom Ford fragrances. I think They are very disruptive, very edgy, and I think his private blend has been the blueprint for many niche and designer fragrances we have on the market, especially one of them, two of them. And but yeah, I think White Suede is the best leather fragrance for summer. Usually we tend to use leather suede fragrances in colder weather, and I think this is actually the opposite. And I think although this is an all year round type of scent, it's especially beautiful during the summer. It's a summer suede fragrance. It's crystalline, it's beautiful, nothing dirty here, nothing animalic. Some people complain, because people complain about everything, and it's very synthetic, and you know, but it's very crystalline. As I was saying, it's a super clean. Go and find a clean leather fragrance and then we can talk. Leather fragrances usually are not clean. They are not necessarily like animalic. Some of them are, not all of them, but it's hard to find a clean leather fragrance. But this is a clean leather or suede perfume. Absolutely beautiful, very feminine. It's actually unisex. I find it more feminine leaning, but it's been my signature scent for years. I went through several bottles of this fragrance, and I can't get enough. I can't get enough. It doesn't project like crazy, or it's soft, it's feminine. I think even if you don't like leather fragrances, I suggest that you try suede fragrances, and this is the best. Aside from Bottega Veneta, you know, the original, it's a little bit more leathery than this one, but it leans more on the suede side. And yeah, those two for me are my top recommendations. White Suede by Tom Ford. Guys, this is it for today. I hope you enjoyed my video about my top 10 fragrances for women summer edition. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see a part 2, and also what is your favorite summer fragrance, your go-to summer fragrance. Stay safe, and I'll see you next Saturday. Bye bye.